And here we go again. And off with the races. You guys already heard all the previous videos about the true grumpy old guys. This video is going to be focused a little bit more on kind of a weird subject. It kind of maybe in a sort of way might relate to the VA or not. I'm not really sure. But we're going to talk about my cousin Eddie. My cousin Eddie, well, he passed away in 2000. My cousin Eddie was in prison for 3 counts of second-degree manslaughter. 3 counts of it. How the judge got him off on it, I don't know, but it's a story that I heard. My cousin Eddie is the first cousin on my mom's side, and he was a Vietnam War veteran. So by the time I actually got a chance to meet my cousin was in 1975. Cousin Eddie did 2 tours in Vietnam with the Grave Registration. The stories that he told me is that he was in the Battle of Quezon. You remember that fucking big ass fucking thing that happened in Quezon where all the fucking bases and shit he got attacked? Well, during that fighting, that he would drive out in a deuce and a half with another guy, and they'd pick up a dead American personnel. Dead American personnel. And he would describe that these guys would be fucking full of bullet holes. He would have to put limbs and fucking heads and shit in body bags. And he would have to tag it. He would tag it members missing or body non-viewable or something like that. Some crazy shit. And he just got into Vietnam roughly a month before Quezon went down. He stayed, and then he volunteered for a second tour, and he stayed over approximately 18 months total. His second tour only was 6 months before they brought him back home, and he had psychological problems. Apparently, my cousin Eddie, my cousin Eddie suffered from severe post-traumatic stress. He would often describe of dragging body bags, ponchos with human remains. And he's talking about a lot. He says several hundred bodies, several hundred. And he says he would put like a poncho with a body wrapped in it up on a gurney. The fucking leg would a blown off leg would roll off and hit the floor. You'd have to pick the bloodied leg, the severed, dismembered leg and shove it back in a poncho liner. I mean, just crazy shit. Crazy stuff. And prior to that he wanted to be a boxer. He was a Golden Gloves champion for I think he was a welterweight, I believe. Very, very tough. Very, very tough. I think he had like 40 fights with maybe like 36 wins or 35 wins. I mean, he was very, very prolific boxer. Very, very prolific. Very, very tough. But he also had an extremely violent temper. He was very, very bad tempered, especially when he drank. So he didn't pursue his boxing career after he came back from Vietnam. He went to the VA and he got a less than honorable discharge for some sort of psychological profile. So when he lived with us for a few months, Crazy Eddie would always be in trouble with the law. Drunk in public, DUI. Until one night, late night, he, down here at the Silver Fox in Highland Park, he got in a fight with this Mexican guy. And from what my stepbrother Tom told me, He says Eddie just beat this guy like he was like nobody's business. Just beat his ass. Just beat the shit out of him. Wow, what's this guy doing? Just beat the shit out of this guy. The guy apparently threatened to kill him. So he beat this guy so bad that when they called the paramedics is, you know, and our town is only roughly about 3 blocks away from the Silver Fox. They rushed the guy to the hospital and the guy died from being severely beaten so bad. And Crazy Eddie got fucking caught. And they gave him 8 years for second-degree manslaughter. While he was in prison, they put him on, he got life when he was in prison. Eventually he got life for 2 additional manslaughter charges. Apparently, these 2 fucking black guys decided that he looked cute as a white boy, and they're gonna try to fucking, you know, they're gonna tell him, hey, listen, we're gonna fuck your ass, and if you don't give your ass, we're just gonna kill you. And from what I was told and what my stepbrother told me through documentations, that Eddie apparently, as soon as they cornered him and said they're gonna fuck him in the ass, or he's either gonna give it to them or they're gonna take it, Crazy Eddie responded by punching one of the black guys so hard in the Adam's apple, he smashed it all the way to the back of his fucking throat. And the other guy that was to the side of him, Crazy Eddie swung, struck him in the side of the head so hard he knocked him down, and then he proceeded to pummel the guy in the side of the head until it killed him. And the guy that was punched in the throat, they brought him in to save his life, and apparently he died of suffocation. And Crazy Eddie got 2 additional first-degree manslaughter charges on him, and they gave him life without parole. Crazy Eddie died in sometime, I think 99 or 2000 of cancer. And naturally we couldn't get the body. And so Crazy Eddie was buried on the prison grounds, or in a pauper's grave or something. I don't know. I've been kind of telling my my dad for the longest time if we can actually get Crazy Eddie out of there and put him in a proper cemetery. But since my mom was only the last surviving relative of Crazy Eddie, and she's dead, she's been dead since 2006 when I was in Iraq, that he has no children. His mom is dead, his dad is dead, his other brother died of respiratory failure. So there's no way of getting Crazy Eddie and having him reinterred, unfortunately. Even though I'm a cousin, but I'm not direct blood, so I can't be able to recover his remains. And that is the story of probably one of the baddest motherfuckers that I know of. And a boxing fucking machine, from what I was told by both my stepbrothers. So Crazy Eddie, unfortunately, bro, you fucking took the law in your own hands and you killed that guy in the bar. But those 2 other jackasses, they deserve to die. And my hat's off to you, brother. And rest in peace, Hua.